Want to set your listings apart and capture unrepresented buyers? Realtor lets you use seller TVs to highlight your business, your preferred partners, or show custom presentations. All you have to do is tell us where to look, download our smart TV app, and you're ready to go. Visit our website to book a call or demo and see Realtor in action.
Good morning, everyone. How the heck are you? I love seeing where everybody is coming from. Put it in the chat. I'm so excited that we're here together. Looks like we have people from all over the United States. And didn't we love the music? I was calling it Happy Mario Brothers dance music. That's my favorite. Big shout out and thank you before we begin to, of course, National Association of Realtors and our sponsor, Realtor. And so I'm so excited to be here with you today. My name is Chelsea Pites. I am a former realtor turned real estate educator, keynote speaker, author, and podcaster. I'm also a mom and a small dog rescue owner. And I am so thrilled to be here today to talk to you all about how to create real human connections through video and fail-proof strategies that are going to elevate your brand in 2023. One thing that I am so passionate about is that I believe your success this year and beyond is directly related to how well your content shows people who you really are. And I know there are a lot of fears about being a vulnerable human and creating video and putting it out to the world. So whether you're just starting, whether you've already been creating videos, there is going to be something for every single one of you. Our goal today is that we will have a few minutes at the end for Q&A. My goal is to also answer your questions before we even get to the end. So hopefully I will be answering your questions along the way. Please feel free to drop anything in the chat. I will periodically look over and check it out. I feel like Zoom's presenting and looking at the chat are a superpower of mine. So you will not derail me. Please put it in there, have conversations amongst yourselves, and we're going to dive right in. So I'm going to share my screen here. You'll be able to see my scan code here, which you actually don't even need, but if you want to, you can take a picture of it. If you scroll up to the top of the chat, you're going to see my Instagram handle. It's a link. It's safe. I promise you. I know we're all scared about links, as we should be, because there are a lot of scammers out there. You can feel free to connect with me on Instagram. And if there's questions that we didn't get to cover today, please feel free to send me a direct message. I would love to chat with you. And I would also love to see your homework and your assignments that I'm going to be giving out today. So the first thing we're going to talk about before we actually dive into the how-to of video is we're going to talk about the number one reason that you're frustrated with social media. And I have taught tens of thousands of real estate humans across the globe. And this is the one thing that I have found is a commonality amongst all of them. No matter how long you've been in the business, no matter how long you've been making content, the number one reason that you're frustrated with social media is simply because you're showing up online in a digital world very differently than you would ever think of showing up offline in a physical world. Let me give you a quick example before we dive into the tactical. I know none of us love to watch ourselves on video, and I'm going to talk about why your brain has trouble with that and exactly how we can fix it. But we don't love consuming ourselves on video, right? It's kind of cringe, it's ick, we hear our voice, and we tell ourselves, well, because this is social media, because this is online, we don't have to show up. We can just make a graphic or a post. And let me tell you what happens with that mindset, that limiting belief. What would you do in real life? That's what I want you to write down first. This question, if you answer this question or ask yourself this question, more often than not, it will answer every single one of your social media questions. The question is, what would you do in real life? What would you do if the person, the human being, was actually sitting across from you? Because here's what I want you to picture. Imagine saying, oh gosh, I can't watch myself. It's terrible. I don't want to put myself out there because I hear my voice and it's terrible. And I just don't look like myself on camera. And I don't want to do it. I don't have to, right? If I could just get them in front of me in person, I know they're going to want to work with me. But what would we do if we were at Starbucks and that potential client was sitting across from us and they said, hey, Chelsea, I've heard all these things going on about the market right now. Is now really a good time to buy or should I wait? And instead of me answering and instead of me giving my expertise and help, I dive under the table. Yeah, under the table. And I've left my client sitting at the table wondering what the heck is going on. They're like, are you okay down there? And then me from under the table, I'm shouting, yeah, everything's fine down here. But here's the thing. I can't have someone look at me when I talk to them. Right? And I know you're probably chuckling because you're like, yeah, no, we wouldn't do that in real life. Yeah, we're using these limiting beliefs around showing up on video because we are vulnerable human beings that want to connect with other people. And that's why we love video and also why we are struggling with it. So the number one reason you're frustrated with social media is that the offline and the online are not matching. And I know that that's a scary idea because a lot of people are like, okay, great. I hear people say I have to show up authentically, but how do I do that? I keep trying to make videos and nothing's happening. Don't worry, I have you covered. So today I'm going to walk you through a simple and super effective 3-step video strategy. It doesn't matter if you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced, this will work for you. Also, this is the only, in my opinion, video strategy you need in 2023. Now, this will work on the majority of platforms. Today, when I'm going to be teaching, I'm going to mention Instagram often, but please know that this strategy works on any platform that you love and use on a regular basis. So how are we going to fix the mismatch, the alignment problem? Because here's what happens. When you are recording a video, and oftentimes we see other people's videos and we think, oh my gosh, I have to do my video like that because they're doing video and they're successful. And sometimes that means that we write out a script or we memorize a script or we try to use a teleprompter. And I will tell you that I love writing out scripts. That's what I do is I write bullet points and scripts. And when I first started making videos, I would try to memorize the whole thing. And it was really daunting. And you know what happened when I was trying to memorize that whole script? Because I would talk about Instagram and I would have 3 bullet points. I would get through bullet point 1, bullet point 2, and then I kind of was like, wait a minute, what was I going to say? And you could see it in my face. Yeah, because the part of our brain that is activated when we memorize something and we're trying to remember something, or if we're reading, is very different than the part of our brain that's activated when we are engaged and talking to a human being. Now, I know that I'm not actually talking to a real human being in front of me right now, but I am imagining you and I am looking directly into the lens and you can see that I'm making eye contact. You can see my nonverbal communication. You can hear my voice going up and down. I'm leaning in because that's what we do as human beings. And the mismatch, the alignment problem is when you watch a video back after you have scripted it, or you're memorizing, or you're reading a teleprompter, which by the way, all of those can be excellent tools as long as you practice the skill set and continue to include your warmth cues. What happens is you watch that video back and you're like, that's me, but it doesn't feel like me. Because sometimes you might be looking into the camera and thinking, okay, I've got to remember this. 3 reasons that you need to move to Scottsdale, Arizona, and blah, 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 right? And the warmth cues go out of our face. And that's where our brain says, wait a minute, something's off here, but we can't quite figure out what it is because it is actually us in the video. I'm going to show you exactly how to fix that. And then we're going to build a strategy to connect with more people. So here is my 3-step strategy. This is being recorded, but feel free to take a picture of this, or if you'd prefer to write it down, I'm going to go through each one of these things. And I would recommend that you do them in this order. but you can mix and match. You can do one, you can do two, you could do three, you could do any combination of them. But I personally have found that this strategy in this order works the best. So we're first going to build your camera confidence, because when you are comfortable, you are confident. And when you are confident, you will be perceived as competent. Okay. So we're going to talk about building confidence with one-to-one video. The next section is we're going to move into how do we effortlessly ignite more conversions, because our goal with social media is, of course, to convert, to create real relationships where people actually want to work with us and are going to reach out and say, I want to hire you. And last but not least, we're going to talk about how do we leave the community we already have, our referral-based network, which we're nurturing, and how do we go out to new human beings who might possibly not know who we are, but also want to work with us. We want to captivate or attract. We want to attract new people who are actually interested in working with us. So let's dive in. So the first formula is my one-to-one video formula. And I would challenge you, your homework today will be to do this actual thing that I'm going to teach you. If you would like to, you are welcome to practice on me and send it in a direct message. But this is going to be so powerful and immediately impactful. And it's called the one-to-one video formula. What is it? You're going to create one video and you're going to pick up your phone, only your phone. We're not going to use a studio. We're not going to script it. We're not going to use a teleprompter. We're not going to edit. I know that sounds terrifying, but here's why I want you to do this. I am a person who comes up with a lot of excuses to where I don't want to go to the gym. Oh, it looks like it's going to rain outside. Maybe we'll go later. Oh, I don't have my studio. I don't have my lighting. I don't have time to write a script. I'll do it next week. And guess what? I don't end up doing it next week. So I want to eliminate excuses and eliminate anxiety around creating videos, or the perception that you have to make a video look a certain way. It has to be, quote, professional. It has to be edited. It has to have transitions. No, we can just use our phone, which is so beautiful. So you're going to pick up your phone, and I know every single one of you has a phone. And you're going to record a very short, unscripted video. I'm talking like less than 10 seconds. I'm going to tell you what to say in it in just a second. So hang on with me there. Now, who are we going to make this video for? You're going to make this one-to-one, okay? One video for one specific human being that you already like, know, trust. That's what the LKT is. Okay, so what's like, know, trust? Okay, this is the kind of person that if you ran into them at Target, you would say hello and know their first name. This is someone you really know. So this could be current clients, past clients, referral partners, anybody that you really, truly like, know, and trust. And I want you to think with intention and strategy, because these people are going to be people that you want to make sure they see your content in the future, right? Okay, so you're making one short video. You're making it for one human being that you like, know, and trust. Now, how are we sending this video? This is important. So please make sure that you circle this on your notes. We are going to send it through what is called a direct message. That's what DM stands for. Every social network has the ability to send a message to another human being. Facebook calls it instant messenger. Instagram just calls it direct message. There is a direct message on LinkedIn as well. Now, I love tools for email. I love text messages. I'm not saying you should never use email or text messages. It doesn't have to be an either or. But in this particular strategy, I want you to send it through a direct message on the social media platform of your choice. And here's why. When you send a direct message to someone, the algorithm, the computer system, is going to use your direct message as a very heavily weighted data point, meaning it's going to say, okay, well, Chelsea just sent a message to Sarah and Sarah replied. So we're going to make sure that Chelsea sees more of Sarah's content and Sarah sees more of Chelsea's content. Yeah, You're hearing me right. The more you talk to people in the direct message, the more likely that person is going to see your content in the future. Now, if I send you a text message with a video, it's very nice. You get it, you see it, but that's it. That's where it ends. Your phone doesn't vibrate and say, hey, Chelsea just posted something on Instagram. You should go look at it. So if you really want to work smarter and have it work smarter and harder for your future content, you will send this through a direct message. Okay. Now, what are you saying in the video? This is my favorite part. Went one too far. You are going to what I call create a visual Hallmark card. Okay. This is something simple and kind. The reason I say Hallmark card is because you've been to a Hallmark store or a card store, or the Target section with the cards. There's sections. There's like happy birthday, happy anniversary, happy new home, happy baby, whatever it is. Okay. For this example, I'm just going to use happy birthday. And I think happy birthday is the easiest one for us to use because, we like to do things that are nice for other people. And so here's what it's going to look like, friends. You're going to go and figure out who you're going to send this message to. And my fictional person is this Sarah person that I've mentioned. So let's pretend it's Sarah. And I'm going to send her a birthday message. I'm just going to pull out my phone. It could be while I'm walking my dog. It could be in my parked car. It could be in my office. And I'm going to go to my social media platform of choice. So in this case, I'm going to go to Instagram. I'm going to go to the messaging section and I'm going to start a new message. And in every message section, there's going to be a little video icon, a camera icon. And I'm going to tap that and it's going to open up the camera and I can record directly inside of that messaging platform. So I'm going to open it up and I'm going to pretend that I did that. And I'm going to say, Sarah, happy birthday, friend. I am so excited to wish you happy birthday. I'm thinking of you. I hope you have the best day. I don't know how long that was, but I think it was probably 5 seconds. I dare you to say happy birthday to someone without smiling. Truly. So here's what happens. Because you know who this person is, you know exactly what to say. You don't need a script. And what's happening too is because you're saying something nice to the other person, guess what happens? They get a hit of dopamine, just like this, and you get a hit of dopamine. And when you're saying happy birthday to someone or congratulations, or I'm thinking of you, or hey, I just wanted to say thank you. You've made an impact in my life this year. And I just wanted to let you know that. Oh, wow. That makes someone feel seen and acknowledged and recognized. And that makes you feel good sending that message and they feel great receiving it. And so you're doing something that is creating a positive feedback loop for your brain in regards to social media. And it's very human and it's custom and it's personalized. Now, the side benefit is now that I see that video back, it's a more aligned version of me. Because it is me with my smile and my warmth cues, and I didn't have to worry about a script. It feels more like me. So now we are connecting the recorded self with the real you. And you start to have this alignment and this confidence that I can just pick up my phone wherever I'm at and create a short little video. Now, the beautiful thing about this is it's not going out to the world. It's going to one person. That's it. So we're starting at one-to-one to build up that confidence, to build up the habit, to eliminate the excuses. You can start doing this today and you will start feeling more comfortable seeing yourself on the video. Now let's talk about, again, the power of direct messages, because I want to give you a little lesson on the algorithm. Number one, 23 years ago, when I was an agent, social media didn't exist. And my broker would ask me the same question every single day. He'd say, how many people did you talk to today? And back then I was like, oh, God, I had a busy day. I was able to meet with 3 people. Whew, that's not very many people, but we had to actually go and meet people or talk on the phone. Now, with the power of direct message, you have access to anyone with a social media account. You don't need their phone number. They don't need to answer the phone. You don't need to put a piece of postage on something and mail it. Those are all really great ways to connect with people, and you should be doing that. But there's so much power in the direct message because there's access to the people. And by the way, what also happens is there's a mindset that's different around direct messages and notifications on social media. I know that when I go to my email, it means I have to do work. It means somebody's asking me to do something and respond. And so I time block my email because I don't enjoy it. But even though I have all of my notifications silenced, I have 0 notifications turned on my phone. Every single time I go to social media, I look at the notifications, and you're probably nodding your head too. Yeah, you do. Why? Because what is in the notifications? It's people commenting, it's people sending you a direct message, and 9.9 times out of 10, it's something in support of the content you posted, or perhaps they're asking a question or starting a conversation. It is a positive experience for that person when they open up that notifications list. Now, the other cool thing that happens is I see your face and your name in that list again and again. It's free repeat branding without making content and posting it to the feed. Isn't that great? You don't have to stress about content right away. You can just talk to people, which I love. And it's going to make sure that your future content is going to be seen more often by the person you're communicating with. So when I make a post today that is going to be in my feed and it's not made specifically for Sarah, guess who's going to see it? Sarah's going to see it. And now what happens is it's the I feel like I see you everywhere phenomenon, where someone's like, oh, okay, I feel like when I open up my feed, there you are. I feel like when I see my notifications, there you are. And I get your monthly newsletter and I see you at the annual barbecue, and it feels omnipresent, but on their terms. So it's a really powerful way to build your confidence and to build your algorithm, okay? But there is a warning that I have for you. This is not a cheat code, friends. I don't want you to go to Facebook and look at the birthdays list and make one video that says, happy birthday, friend, and then send it to all 8 of those people that are having a birthday. That, my friends, is for you, not for them. That's for us to give ourselves a pat on the back and say, okay, it only took me 30 seconds to get all of my social media engagement done. This is about being human through technology. This is about doing something that makes someone feel seen and connected to you. So we want it to be personal. We want it to be customized. There are some things that are worth not scaling and not automating, and you and your humanity are one of those things. Now, a quick little primer in the different areas of the platforms. I want you to ask yourself this question. Are you showing up in all 3 of these spaces? You don't have to show up equally in every one of them, but the majority of platforms will have like a main feed or more than one, and they'll have stories, which is what we're going to talk about next. The feed is, I want you to think of kind of going wide. This is going to build brand awareness. You're going to provide value. New people who don't know you can find you in the feed through hashtags, etc. We can talk about that in just a moment. The stories are where you're going to go deep to create the relationships. That's where the conversions happen. So write down stories. That's the secret sauce to conversions. If you ask somebody who is heavily using stories on a regular basis, which I am, I get almost 100% of my conversions through Instagram stories. I'm going to tell you the scientific reason why in just a moment, but that's where you get relatable. Stories are only seen by people that follow you. Okay. Direct messages are how we build those relationships because conversations lead to conversions. So where do I spend the majority of my time? This is just for me. You don't have to do exactly what I'm doing. I'm just telling you how I prefer to do it. I spend the most time in direct messages. I talk to people every day. I love it. It's easy. I don't need a script. I don't need to be on video. And I like creating relationships. Then I spend the next amount of time in stories. I do stories every day because it's fast, it's easy. I don't have to go to Canva. I don't have to look at hashtags. I just open up my phone and talk to my friends. I love it. And then the feed, I post, hold on to your hats. I post once a week, sometimes twice. I will be posting twice this week. But the reason I can post consistently once or twice a week in the feed is because I am a heavy engager. I am somebody who is engaged with my community, and my audience is seeing the content when I do post it. So yes, you can post less and convert more. I'm here to reduce that content stress, friends. I love that. Okay. Now we're on to this second strategy. So the first strategy was the one-to-one video. You're going to take a video and you're going to send it through a direct message. Okay. The second strategy is, now that we've built that confidence and that habit, I want to work you up to start getting out to more people. Not everyone. So we're going to go from one-to-one to one to more, not one to all yet. Okay. So we're going to talk about stories. This is a format. This is a short form video or photo format. And this is primarily made for communication, for engagement, which is why it ignites conversions. It ignites conversions. Now, Facebook has stories, Instagram has stories, TikTok has stories, but I'm just going to use usually Instagram as I'm talking about stories. Okay. So let me put a couple of really fun scientific and neurological facts here. When we see someone's face, even if it's through a screen, and I know a lot about this because I wrote a book about it. I am one of the few humans on the planet who has studied how our brain reacts to faces through screens using social media. And the punchline of the book, so you don't have to buy it, is that our brain has no idea that there is a difference between me seeing you here live across from me or through a screen. Our brain connects in the same way. And as we see faces, even if we've never met these people before, familiarity influences likability, which influences trust. And I can't tell you how many times, it's 100% of the time. It's 100% of the time when I go somewhere at a conference and I'm talking and someone comes up and says, "Oh my gosh, I feel like I already know you." I love that. And that's my goal for you, is to start sharing more videos that can make a stranger feel like they already know you. Because that stranger is going to be consuming your content and connecting, and they're going to be watching your videos. And then one day they're going to reach out and they're going to say, yeah, we definitely want to have a meeting. We want to interview you about working with you. And they're going to sit down and they're going to say, "You know what? We've actually watched all of your videos." They didn't comment on anything, but they consumed your content, and they already have made a decision in their mind that you're their person, because they've been seeing your face on the screen. And when we see people's faces, oxytocin and dopamine, you don't even know what's happening. And we start to be able to decode faces in a half a second. We have mirror neurons, which means when I'm watching your story and you're talking about something awesome or something sad, my brain feels happy or my brain feels sad, and I don't even know what's happening. And we have a shared experience, which means we feel connected. So easy way to remember this is a quote that I've been saying for years. Faces take you places. If we're not seeing your face, we are not going to be able to build trust, and you're not going to be able to communicate your authority as quickly and easily when people are going to your profile, say on Instagram, and scanning your content in a second or two to determine who you are, what you do, and how you can help them. So let's talk a little bit about why stories are so important for a format. I'm going to put some bullet points on here. We already talked about how fast and easy. If you want to talk about no content stress, this is it. There's no formatting required. You literally could take a picture of anything or a video of anything. I'd recommend face to camera. Less content stress. We love that. It disappears in 24 hours. So it's only going to last there. And only people who follow you are going to see it, not strangers. So yeah, the content stress is way down. You can actually see who watched it. That's the only kind of content that you can see who watched it. Maybe that client that you met, or that potential client you met at the open house that you followed, maybe they're watching your stories. Real-ish time shared experiences equals connection. When I leave today to go up to a cabin with my kiddo because it's spring break here, you can come with me and you can experience what it's like to be with our family, or whatever I decide to show, because I'm actually a private person. There's a difference between personal and private content. You can feel like you're there with me. If you're watching my stories today, you're going to see that I have a scammer out there, And I'm now going to have to call and file with the FTC and all of these awful things. And you're going to follow along with that story. And you're going to be like, hey, whatever happened with that scammer account you had? That's connection, because you feel like you're part of the story. It's like watching a movie, but being able to communicate with the actors or the characters in the movie while it's happening. Private direct messaging. We have different conversations when it's private. We're not going to say all the things that are happening in a public comment thread. But when you have one-to-one communication with people, and here's the beautiful thing, my friends, if you have clients or past clients or referral partners that are active on stories, they are telling you exactly what to talk to them about. Love that. Because again, 23 years ago, I would get stressed because I'm like, okay, I haven't talked to these people in a while. Like, how am I going to bring this up that I'm like, circling back with them? I look at the stories. I see that they just got a new rescue dog. Oh my gosh, I love your rescue dog. It's so cute. Congratulations. They're telling you exactly what to say. You don't even have to think about what to talk about. I love that. Now, you can't outsource this very well, which I think is a good thing because it is face to camera. People want to see the real you. And what's happening is as you are in your personal world, this is my real office. You might see me in my living room later. You'll see me in my car. You'll see me at the cabin later. You feel like, wow, this is a real person. And you have that connection. And so you can't outsource it, which I love. And it gets you lots and lots of practice and exposure to your recorded self. Yay. More conversions happen in the stories. So what are you going to share on your stories? Here's just a couple of ideas. I am going to say the kitchen sink, meaning everything in the kitchen sink. You don't have to have a storyline. You don't have to think about the market update. You can share that there if you want to. Think about behind the scenes, magic in the mundane, everything that we're doing on a daily basis that you think is boring. Here's how you make it not boring. I want you to ask a question. I want you to ask a question. It's something as simple as this coffee cup. Okay. I could say, do you collect coffee cups? Do you drink coffee or tea? And I could use a poll sticker, a poll, P-O-L-L sticker. And you know how many people want to give you their opinion when you don't ask for it? If you want to increase engagement, and if you're afraid something is boring, ask a question, use a poll. Watch what happens. You're going to be amazed. Okay. So again, my favorite quote, I just want to share this. People come for the plot and stay for the characters. People come for the plot and they stay for the characters, friends. You just don't think you're a character we're staying for because you think your life is boring and what we do is boring. People want to connect with you. And this is what I mean by this. I could post something like this, and I just made this up. I just made this with Canva. And you might think, okay, but it has your face on it. And you said it has to have a face on it and it has a call to action. But instead, I would encourage you, stories, not just story format. Think about the story of how you got into real estate. Think about the story of when the inspection went wrong. Think about the story of how you connected with your clients. Can you tell stories that can immediately connect people with you? So stories format and also telling more stories. Okay, guys, we are in our last section, which is short form vertical video. Let me give you a summary and a recap. Number one, I want you to start with the one-to-one videos. Build your confidence, build your algorithm. And then we're going to go to stories. Okay. I love to make stories every day. You don't have to make stories every day. I would recommend it. It only takes a few seconds. There's a little bit of a learning curve, but then it's really, really quick and easy. I spend less than 3 full minutes a day, less than 3 minutes in a 24-hour period making stories, probably less than 2. And that's where I get 99% of my business. Worth it? Absolutely. Now we're going from one to more to one to all, specifically strangers. This is where we're going to captivate, attract, because we don't want to chase people. We want to attract people who want to work with us. And we're going to do that with short form vertical video. Short form vertical video is a mouthful. So let me just say reels. Facebook calls them reels. Instagram calls them reels. TikTok calls it TikTok. And believe it or not, YouTube has short form vertical video, which is called shorts. Okay. It's simply short videos in length, and it's vertical, how you hold your phone, Okay. So every video you make going forward on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, it's going to be vertical, up and down. YouTube is kind of the last place that is going to be like landscape or horizontal. Now, YouTube's getting into the vertical game too. So write that down. If you're not making vertical videos, it's now time that you make those vertical videos because they're going to show up larger, and they're promoting vertical videos more in the feed as well. I'm going to put this little graphic up here. I would recommend taking a picture because one of the common questions I get is, Chelsea, I'm so confused. Like, when do I post to a story? When do I post to like a short form vertical video, like a reel? Can they be the same thing? They can be. But a story, I want you to think of stories. This is where I'm creating relationships. This is where I'm going deep with my community that already knows me. Stories, in my opinion, is to build familiarity. Reels, short form vertical video, that's to build followers because that particular content goes out to people you don't know. Yeah. Believe it or not, they're actually pushing that content out to people who do not follow you. So if you want to grow, if you want to get new eyeballs on your brand and create new relationships, you're going to use short form vertical video. You're going to use reels. Now, the combination is really impactful because if I'm using reels, and that's going out to people that don't know me, those people will come to my profile. They're going to check out my profile. They're hopefully going to click follow, and then they're going to build the like, know, and trust through the stories. So that's the funnel that's built into these platforms for you to nurture those relationships. Now, short form vertical video like reels, it doesn't disappear. It stays around forever. So this is where you're going to put your educational content, your content that's answering questions that you are commonly asked by your clients so that you can amass a library that lives on your Instagram profile that a new person can easily scan and determine what is your perspective, what is your personality, are you competent, and can I trust you? What do you talk about? Wow, you've made 100 videos about the real estate market in 85255. I bet you probably know something about it. So it's building that brand awareness. Now, it's really important that I teach you about how this particular algorithm works because this is the best news you've heard probably all year. We now have what's called a recommendation algorithm on all the platforms. Okay, so you heard about how direct messages and connecting with people impacts your content being shown to them. Now let's talk about what happens in the feed to people maybe you don't know. We now are having the ability to have our content be sorted and served to people who are interested in the topic. Imagine that. So let's talk about this. It is about discovery. These platforms want your content to be discovered by new people. So guess what they're going to do for free? They're now putting your content in front of not just the people that follow you, but people who don't follow you. And you used to have to pay for ads to do that. And it's about relevancy, meaning, am I interested in gluten-free baking recipes? Well, then that's what I'm going to see. But if I'm not interested in fitness, I'm not going to see that. Great. I don't want to see stuff that I'm not interested in. That also means that if your videos are about real estate, they're going to be seen and consumed and served to people who are interested in real estate or interested in that general topic. Yes, that's exactly what we want. So it's working smarter and harder for your content. It's also shown to non-followers. Pretty much 60, 70, 80% of the views that you're going to get, non-followers. Reach, awareness for free, no ads. I love that. Also, this is the really cool part, frequency. Let's pretend I see a video from somebody I don't know. And I watch the whole thing, but I don't comment, I don't engage, I don't share it, I don't say, I just watched. Well, the algorithm is going to know that I watched that one longer than anything else. And it's going to say, wait a minute, I think you're interested in this person's content. So what they're going to do the next time I come in is they're going to serve me more content from the same person. And you've probably seen this happen where you're like, I've seen this person before in my feed. And eventually you probably end up following them. So we've never been able to do that without paying for it. So I love this opportunity. Now is the best opportunity we've ever had to get our content in front of more people for free. This also means, friend, that your content has a longer shelf life. Yes, you can post less. Love that. Why? Because I don't need to post every day because it's not a chronological feed anymore. It's not about quantity, it's about quality. It's the fact that if I'm interested in this topic, I don't care if it was made 6 minutes ago or 6 months ago. I want the best video about the topic. So all wins here, guys. Out to new people, growth, totally free, showing you more frequently and a longer shelf life. Now, what's important in short form vertical videos? It's watch time. Watch time, and if are people sharing it? So I'm going to give you a couple of tips as we close out right before the Q&A here about how you can increase your watch time and the quality of your videos. So I'm going to stop the share here so you can all see me here. Okay, couple of tips. So make sure you've got your pens out. One thing that is so important that a lot of people don't talk about is how much time you have to capture someone's attention. It's not 3 seconds. You probably heard that, right? You've got 3 seconds to capture someone's attention. Okay, let's count. 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. Are you waiting that long to scroll? No. You have 0 to 0.5 seconds to grab someone's attention. So how you start your video matters on any platform. So here's what I would recommend. Not starting with an intro. Something like, hey friends, it's Chelsea Pites, and today we're going to talk about 3 things you need to know, because at this point, hey friends, you've lost me. We need to grab someone's attention right away. You can do an introduction later. You could literally say, have you ever wondered what $1 million buys you at 85255? Well, I'm Chelsea Pites, your local realtor. You see how I did that there. So we don't want to start with an intro. We want to start with what I like to call the question hook. Now I have a whole download that you can get with a whole bunch of these hooks, but it's simply, how are you starting your video? And the easiest way, don't make this a rule, this is just a guide. The easiest way to start your videos to capture attention is to ask a question and include the word you. You is the most powerful word in the English language. It triggers our mind because, oh, you're talking to me. We don't even know that it's happening. So I want you to be aware of that. Are you using words like I? Switch it to you. So here's a couple of examples. Have you ever wondered? Do you want to know? Are you like me? Anything where it's a question and the word you is going to give you a better chance to get someone to stop the scroll and to actually pay attention. Because if they can't get past second number 3, they're not going to watch to the end. And that's really important, is to get people to keep watching. My next tip is I want you to include closed captions. You might call them subtitles. Closed captions are when you're talking and you have a transcription, the words, the text on the screen. Now, this might sound a little bit challenging or advanced, but what I will tell you is that once you do it one time, it gets much, much easier. And thankfully, the majority of the platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, they've all put this in a button so that they make it easy. Okay. So here's why we want to have closed captions. Number one, we have many people who are in the deaf or hard of hearing community. We also are going to have people like me, the 90% of people who are consuming content with no sound for a variety of reasons. Maybe I'm in a public place and I'm not going to consume your video if I am not able to read it if I need or want to. Also, people who are neurodivergent like myself. If I want to retain something, I need to read it and hear it at the same time. So there's a variety of reasons. One of the reasons that your content may not be getting engagement is because you are forcing people to consume it in one way. When you're adding closed captions, when you're adding that context where people can read, they will be able to consume your content in whatever way is preferred or needed for them. And so that is the really, really important thing that I want to let you know is how you start with that question and that hook, and also making sure that you have closed captioning on your videos. And the last thing that I'm going to say about the short form vertical videos, and I actually have a picture of this, so I'm going to go back to the shared screen in just a second. You don't need to worry about all the fancy edits. I know it's overwhelming because you're like, gosh, now I have to learn how to do this. And like, I don't know how to do all these edits that people are doing, and it's just overwhelming. I don't edit very much at all. And I will say that I'm going to say the only edit that you actually need to learn is something called the trim feature. Trim, like you're going to trim off either the first little bit of the video or the last little bit. That's all I do, guys. That's all I do. And so I want to show you a picture of what it looks like, because here's what happens. I have a really bad habit of starting all my sentences with so. So I don't know. See, I just said it. So I don't know what happens, but I'm like, okay, so today we're going to talk about, right? And so I tried to stop that. And what happened is I was thinking about it so much that it was reflecting in my videos. And I thought, well, why am I worried about this? I'll just trim it off. Trim it off, guys, trim it off. So almost 100% of the videos that I make, I'm just doing some trims. I'll record in clips and maybe I'll trim it up. So let me show you this. I know, so I can't stop myself. It's a verbal tick. I know. We all have our verbal downfalls, right? Let me show you. Oh, I think I might have lost the share screen there. Sorry about that. Let me go back here. Okay. So see, there we go again. I want to show you where that is, and then I want to come back to this. Okay. So look at this, you guys. Let me move this up so you can see. I know it's kind of hard to see. This is what you will see when you are creating your videos pretty much in every platform. And a simple Google search on how to trim your videos on Reels or TikToks, you'll find a million videos. But all you have to do is just trim off the little edge. And that is all you do. And so I'm telling you, you don't have to worry about all of the other edits. Heck, you don't even have to edit if you don't want to. The only thing that I'm doing is trimming a little bit off when I say, or I have a pause, or I go like that, or if I take a breath, like that, I just trim those little things out. And you'll see that if you look at my content, you'll be able to see that. Now, one last thing that's super duper important that I haven't talked about, let me get onto the presentation slideshow, play from current slide. This is really important. Okay, last tip I'm going to give you here. You need, just like closed captions, you must have text on your videos. Why? Because if I don't know who you are and I'm coming to your content library for the very first time, I need to know what the videos are about. How will I know if I want to watch them if I have no clue what these videos are about? So now what happens is you can clearly see what each video is about. And maybe I came to watch the one video that I saw, and then I said, oh, wow, you don't need to make highly produced videos. I want to see that. And now they're consuming more of your content. So 3 things: no intro. Instead, ask a question and use the word you. Include those closed captions on every video that you do. And 3, put a simple text. It doesn't have to be fancy. You don't have to go to Canva. You can just simply add text. It just needs to be functional. So your homework is go look at your Instagram videos and let me know, like, hey, can I tell what all your videos are? Or is it just a picture of your face smiling, or a picture of a house? Because we're not going to click on that if we don't know what's actually inside of the video. Okay. Now we've got a couple more minutes. Make sure, Stephanie, you keep me on track as far as my timing. And I'm going to scroll through here. We're probably not going to get to all of the questions, but I'd love to get to some of them if we can. Ed says, one of my recent reels had 10x more engagement than my other ones. I just realized why. I did exactly what you suggested. Yay. Congratulations, Ed. I'm so excited. It can be kind of fun, seeing what happens when you test things. I do that all the time as well. Maggie says, what does the platform favor a video if it was recorded within the app versus uploaded? I'll give you the anecdotal and what they put in writing, right? So in my opinion, I don't think it matters because I have created videos outside of the app and uploaded them and they've performed really well. Does the app know if you've created it outside of the app? It does. The only thing that I will say you shouldn't do, because they have put this in writing, is if you are creating a TikTok, Instagram doesn't want TikTok's logo showing up in the video, and they're not going to push that as much. You're not going to get as much reach. So I would recommend that if you're trying to cross post or reuse content from one platform to another, Instagram, Facebook don't really play well with TikTok, and they don't want that watermark to be on it. So I will say that is one thing that you're going to want to remove. Okay, Beth says, can you share a link to your prompts? Yes, it's, I know it's all the way at the top, but it's my Instagram. Just go to my Instagram and there's a link in my bio and you will see, you can click on that link and it will say Reels Hooks, I believe. Heather says, whenever I post and add my city location, I always get random accounts commenting. Oh my gosh, the promote on. Promote this on, send this to, yeah. I really don't know. And I'm in the middle of this right now with an imposter account that I'm literally getting my legal counsel involved. I have reported this account hundreds of times on Instagram. I know that there is a way Instagram can cut down on bots and can cut down on inauthentic coordinated activity because they are doing it. There are tons of imposter accounts, which I'm actually posting today, how you can keep safe, because this one for me has literally gotten so far down the road. But yes, just ignore those. If you want to delete them, you can. But my gosh, after a while, I was deleting it on every single post. And so I just said, forget it. So it won't count against you. There's nothing bad about getting it. But yes, every single person, I bet, on this call has gotten a comment that says something like promote on or send to. Do not do it. Do not send it to anywhere. Those are bots and spam accounts. And I wish there was something that we could do to delete them automatically. You are going to get a recording of this. And Carol, thank you, Stephanie. She just put that up there. So just scroll right up and you click that link. Lauren says, can you add text and captioning at the same time? Yes, you can. And every app that has the video, once you record the video, you have to record it first. And then there's usually a little like menu button. And on Instagram and on Facebook, it looks kind of like a little smiley face, but in sort of like a rounded square. And if you tap that, it'll have a button that says captions. And you can tap that. And when you add it to your video, it listens to what you're saying. And every once in a while, it spells a word wrong. But have no fear. You can actually go in and you can edit those words and correct them if it like didn't pick up your word or if it misspelled it. So yes, you can also add text, and there's a little icon that looks like a big A and a small a. So you can add both. Yes, you can do that all at the same time. Okay, thanks, Stephanie, for putting that in there. Ooh, Chat GPT with AI. I have really enjoyed using that as a place for me to start. I go into it. I'm one of those people where if I have a blank page, sometimes I get overwhelmed and I just can't even start. So I'll go to Chat GPT or Jasper AI or whatever platform of the moment, and I will ask it to help me come up with a title or an idea or take something that I've written that's not great and make it better. And so I think that while this tool is really helpful and it will evolve, I still like to use it as a starting point and still add my humanity and my spin and my personality into the actual content. But it can do so many things, so many things. Let's see. Thank you. Thank you. I'm getting some thank yous. I really appreciate that. Do you think it's better to record directly from Instagram? It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. If you are in a rhythm and you know that you just like to record, save it to your camera roll, and then pop it up on Instagram, and you don't care that that's an extra step, Totally cool. I'm kind of one of those people. I I like to stay in my same way of doing things, then my brain works that way. But if you're like, I don't want to take an extra step, you don't have to. You can just go right to the platform and record it. Do you think participating in trends on TikTok works well for reaching more people? So trends are a great way to get inspiration. Trends are also a fun way to create content that brings you joy and is creative. What I don't think trends are is context about who you really are and how you help people. So I will never tell people to not do trends. I occasionally do a trend and I do it because it makes me laugh, it brings me joy. It's just perfect for this point that I want to illustrate. What I will tell you though is if I come to your profile and the only videos that I see are only trend videos, and I'm not hearing your voice, I'm not learning about your perspective, your opinion, your experiences, and your stories, well, that's going to be a detriment to somebody really connecting with you. So I would say, I know you're not as excited to do them, but a voice like face to camera, talking to camera, answering commonly asked questions that you get from your clients and the questions that they're not asking, but they should, those are likely not going to get the same views as something with a trend or a trending audio, but views does not equal value, friends. Follower count is different than bank account. I would rather have my content consumed by 30 of the right humans who needed to see that content and will work with me than 30,000 people who are never going to work with me. Sean, oh, thank you. This has been the most informative session. I'm so excited. Yay. Okay, so Stephanie, I know we're down to a minute, so I'm going to have you come back on. I'm so sorry we didn't get to all of the other questions. I hope that I will be able to come back and talk more about it. Steve, you just asked if I have 2 Instagram accounts. Yeah, one of them is fake. So you'll know my account because it has an active story and it literally says in the bio, I do not sell blockchain and I am never on Telegram. So that's how you'll know it's actually my account. And I would encourage everyone, please check my account because I'm going to be making a really important, informative post today about what's going on in Instagram and how to keep yourself safe from these imposter accounts and what to do and red flags that 99% of people are missing. 99% of people are missing. And I just had a really tragic story yesterday that happened with someone that I know who lost $4,000. And so listen, I want you guys to not have to go through that. So I'm going to post that today on my account. And it's really, really going to be a good one for you to save, read, and share. It's probably going to take you 90 seconds. So absolutely, I would recommend that. So thank you, everyone, so much for coming. Thanks for joining us. And yes, the recording is going to be going out. I can't wait to connect with you on the Instagram. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you to our sponsor, Real Tour. We so appreciate you. Stephanie, did you have anything that you wanted to say as we close out?
That's it. Thank you so much, Chelsea. This was so great and so informative.
Awesome. All right. Stay safe out there, everyone. We look forward to seeing you on the socials. Thanks, National Association of Realtors. We'll see you next time.